for tuning in. Gracie and I are glad to be back. Hey, Gracie, where are you? Come. Load up. And today we're going to be talking about the mechanics in the house and doing a lot of maintenance on that. We're going to start with the furnace. They suggest that you do maintenance every year. I think it kind of depends on how old your system is on when you really start doing every year a maintenance on it. But there are a couple things that you can do yourself on a regular basis. One of them is the tubing that comes down on the furnace. Nobody really thinks about it. It gets pretty gunky after a couple years, starts getting brittle. So it is good to change it. It's easy. We're talking about going down into the drain. Go to Menards, a hardware store, and they'll cut the size and length that you need, and it's easy to replace. The other is your filter, especially if you have animals. You want to change that once a month, every 3 months at least. And when you're getting ready to list your property, make sure that you replace that plastic tube, that it looks nice, fresh, and clean, and that you have a clean filter in there. Vacuum out the vents as often as you can, and again, especially if you have animals. Get that hair out of there. And the vents, after a couple years, are going to start to get some rust look on them. It's just moisture that you have in the house. But they can be cleaned. You can take a wire brush and scrape them up a little bit and spray paint them, and they're going to look nice and clean and fresh again. Then we're going to go to the other part is if you do have your vents professionally done, it can cost a couple $100s. So keeping them maintained yourself, of course, saves you money on hiring someone, and also how hard the furnace is working. Next, we're going to go to the air conditioner. There's not a lot to do on the air conditioner until something happens to it. But you want to make sure that it is level on the ground. For some reason, the home inspectors are calling and suggesting anytime that they're slant one way or another, they really shouldn't be that way. Cover them during the winter time if you're in the snowy seasons. So it just protects them. But do remember to take the covers off in the summer when you're getting ready to use the air conditioner. The water heater would be your next, and that is another one that you don't pretty much do much maintenance on it until it's ready to be replaced. However, I do find with the home inspectors, there is a pipe that runs down. A lot of times it's a copper pipe. It needs to be 4 but no more than 6 inches off the ground. It is a safety hazard. So look at that, measure it because they do. If it needs to be fixed, you should do that for yourself. While you're living there, it's a safety hazard, and then it is going to get called on a home inspection. Easy thing to do yourself, don't have to have a plumber come out to do that. Another item that gets missed is the dryer. That vent runs from the dryer outside. The vent flaps outside. Again, we're talking about moisture, water, get all of the particles stuck to them. And then a lot of times they're not flowing the air out the way they should be. Each summer, go out there, check those vents, and clean them. If you can take the vent panel off and clean, it's easier, and you can get in there better. If not, just open the flaps and clean them out and scrape all that junk out of there. Again, it's a safety hazard. You want to make sure that that air is flowing through the dryer out of the house. And they are checking that. I'm seeing more and more. Sump pump is another one. Not a lot to do in the way of maintaining it. However, one of the things that I do see get called a lot on the sump pumps is extension cords, water extension cords. Not a good thing. It needs to be hardwired to the sump pump. And again, that's another safety hazard. If you're doing that right now, please have have an electrician come in and do it. It's worth it for you. Or if you have a family member, someone that can do that, that's a good thing also. Backup batteries, I really, really strongly suggest a backup battery, especially if you have a finished basement. The cost of replacing carpet, drywall, when your electricity goes out during a storm and the sump pump stops. It is worth every penny. So think about doing that. Another item that I see a lot of is garage door openers. Again, the extension cord, that is a no. That needs to be hardwired also. So those are things to pay attention to for yourself, and then especially whenever you're getting ready to sell your home. These are things that can be done, again, in the manner that you want them done instead of being called by a home inspector. Your appliances, you kind of use them, keep them clean until they're ready to be replaced. However, underneath the kitchen sink, bathroom sinks, we sometimes get leaks, and like most of us, we all have a lot of stuff underneath the sink, so we don't notice when that leak is starting, and then next thing you know, it's ruined the flooring down there, could leak down into another room. So an easy fix or an easy safety thing is put a plastic bucket of some sort underneath that area of the piping. And then it helps you realize, hey, all of a sudden, you know, there's water in there, so that you can catch it before it does a lot of damage. Otherwise, if you do have the wood that's got wet, get it dried out, make sure that you've fixed the leak, and wash the boards down with Clorox. We do not like the word mold, so you want to make sure that it's no chance of having any kind of mold on it. Use some Clorox, let it dry out really good. If you want, you can put another piece of wood down on top of it after it's all dry to make it look nice and clean. On that part, the electrical. We are not going over electrical. I am not doing it. It is a subject all on its own. So we're not gonna go into that area. However, I am gonna talk real quick about smoke detectors and carbon monoxide detectors. They should be on every floor. And if you have your bedrooms on both sides of the house, put those smoke detectors in the bedrooms. If you have like 3 bedrooms right together, kind of like in a little U shape, you can put a smoke detector right in the middle of all 3 of those, and that should work for you. I have heard recently from the home inspectors that they recommend the smoke detectors be separate from the carbon monoxides. I do know they have units out there that are a combo. However, they're saying your smoke detectors are up on the ceilings and the carbon monoxides should be down by the floor. So it's a call that you want to make, but I just know that I have had more comments from the home inspectors on that lately. With that, I would like to say thank you for tuning in. Remember that I am a licensed realtor only. All of these suggestions are from what I have seen over the years, from going to home inspections and reading over home inspection reports. Please be safe. It looks like we're getting closer to getting back to a normal way of life as best we can. But there are things that we can put into place going forward, because we're always going to have, safety issues going on, I think, more than what we have been aware of in the past. So please take thought to that, be healthy, and keep smiling. And Gracie and I are going to go out on this beautiful day and take a walk. Yes, take a walk. And we will see you next time. Thank you.